Hi guys, my name is Kylie James. I am a certified nutritionist and director at Koru Nutrition. Really excited to be here today to talk about a hot topic. I know a lot of us are feeling those extra pounds around our midsection with being locked down now for I think it's our 10th week now. So I know a lot of people are complaining about that weight gain. So I thought I'd share some great quick and easy strategies to sort of help manage that. Intermittent fasting. So, this is one great strategy to help lose weight and manage weight. So, what intermittent fasting is, it's like a type of eating pattern where you eat during a certain window, whether it be 4 hours, 8 hours, or 12 hours. And basically, the rest of the time you are avoiding eating. So, a great quick one is having an early dinner and then not having your first meal until lunchtime the next day. So, what the research shows is that you really need to be fasting for about 16 hours to get those health benefits and those weight loss benefits happening. So, there has been a ton of research about intermittent fasting and weight loss. So, research has shown that intermittent fasting can actually help lower insulin levels and increase growth hormone levels, which can assist with fat loss and muscle gain, resulting in weight loss. The other great thing about intermittent fasting is that it releases a fat burning hormone called norepinephrine, which also helps us to burn fat. And research also shows that intermittent fasting can actually help to increase your metabolic rate by 3.6 and possibly up to 14%. So what I love about intermittent fasting is it's easy. You're not cleaning up, you're not spending extra money, you're saving money because you're not buying groceries for breakfast. There's less time in the kitchen because you're not cooking anything. Obviously, less mess and tidy up. And by the default of missing a meal, you're eating less calories. So I find a great strategy is downloading a fasting app on your computer, but you also have to be mindful too, because with intermittent fasting, there could be some health issues or some health conditions that might not be conducive to doing intermittent fasting. So, definitely, if you have diabetes, you want to check with your healthcare practitioner first. And also, too, you need to be mindful if you are taking medications at breakfast times, you need to take them with food. Definitely consult with your health practitioner first just to see what you can be doing, how you can implement the fasting, and if it's appropriate, especially with medications. The other thing to do is late night snacking has to go. So, this is not conducive to intermittent fasting. And if you're eating a lot of those foods late at night, you don't have time to burn off those extra calories. So, eating before bed is actually one of the first strategies that we give people that want to gain weight. So, definitely it's a weight gaining strategy. So, eating after dinner is not conducive to weight loss. So, if you are hungry after dinner, then try and sip on like herbal teas, water, sparkling water, etc. Now, if you are hungry at night after dinner, you may not be getting enough food during the day. And this can lead to a problem called nocturnal insomnia, which is going to impact your sleeping. And this is all around blood sugar balance. So, what I suggest you do is make sure you eat enough food during the day. And if you are hungry, opting for healthy options, because I know at night people tend to go for the chips or the ice cream, etc. But if you can try and switch out the chips for like vegetables and hummus or popcorn, or switch out the ice cream for plain Greek yogurt and berries, that would be a much better option. So the other option is eating clean whole foods. So getting rid of all the processed foods, the deli meats, the sugars, etc. So eating clean whole foods includes your fruits, your vegetables, your sea vegetables, your nuts and seeds, your whole grains, your fish, your grass-fed meats, your eggs, your lentils, and your legumes. So all these foods are very nutrient dense. They're very low in calories and sugar, really important for blood sugar balance, which I'll talk more about. and great for boosting the immune system because it's so nutrient rich. So a lot of people get concerned about eating clean whole foods. Oh my God, I'm going to spend so much time in the kitchen. I don't have time for this. But there are some strategies around that that can actually help. So I love batch cooking. So cooking large amounts that you can portion out for different meals during the week or later on. So that can be like your soups, your chilies, and your stews. And you can also repurpose foods as well. So say, for example, you do a nice big chicken roast one night. The leftovers, you can make chicken fajitas the next night, add that into fajitas, or make a soup. So you're repurposing that food. So it takes some more work out of that time prep, right? I love crock pots because you can pop food in the crock pot in the morning when you've got more energy. At the end of the day, when you could be rushing around or you're just exhausted, the dinner's already there. It's ready to go. So that's a great option as well. And another great thing is just having food readily available to grab and go. So cutting up a whole bunch of veggies and having them in the fridge, or just getting like a big veggie tray from the grocery store, or boiling up a bunch of eggs. They can last up to a week in the fridge. So those sort of strategies are really great to make sure you're getting those clean whole foods. So number 4 is cutting out the refined grains. So that's like your white bread, your white rice, your white pasta, all those baked goods, which I'm sure a lot of us are doing now because I know flour is getting pretty low in the grocery stores. So your cookies, your cakes, your pizzas, they're all void of nutrients, and because they're refined and they've had the fiber taken out, and the fiber slows that release of blood sugar. So because that fiber is being taken out, it can really spike those blood sugars. So when blood sugars surge, so too does insulin. Your pancreas has to pump out a lot more insulin. And this hormone insulin is responsible for getting that glucose or sugar from your blood into the cell. So if there's too much glucose and your cells don't need it, then your body packages it into fat cells to store. So that makes us actually bigger. The other problem with refined grains is they can be, especially if they're gluten, is they can be inflammatory. And many individuals notice when they give up gluten, not only do they notice weight loss, but they have improved mood, sleep, digestion, energy levels, and reductions in pain. So I was actually part of a research study at Brock University where people gave up gluten and also dairy, and definitely depression scores, sleep, and pain significantly improved. So again, talking about blood sugar balance, eating a lot of those white breads, white rice, and a lot of sugar is going to spike your blood sugars. And if you have unstable blood sugars, you have 3 times more difficulty losing weight. So this can be a key factor in helping with your weight. So I just wanted to do an overview about blood sugar balance. So the top diagram is unstable blood sugars. So we want to stay in that nice green line. That's where our normal blood sugars like to be. But if we eat like a breakfast, say of cereal, a lot of cereals are high in sugar. If we do an orange juice, that's pretty much all sugar. A coffee, it's going to spike your blood sugars, and it's going to take you above that healthy green range, and that's going to cause stress on your body. So like I was saying before, you've got all the sugar in your blood. Your pancreas has to release a whole bunch of insulin to deal with it. It's too much sugar, your body doesn't need all that, so then your body packages it, so you have increased fat storage, but you also have increased mood swings and you have brain fog. So what comes up must come crashing down, and your blood sugars will drop below that normal green threshold. And when your blood sugars drop, your body's not wanting to be going for like carrots and hummus. They're wanting to go for some cookies or a donut to try and get those blood sugars back up. And unfortunately, that creates a vicious cycle. But when your blood sugars drop, your body's natural response is to produce the stress hormone cortisol. Cortisol helps to get blood sugars up. But if you have prolonged cortisol, so if you're someone that's struggling right now with a lot of stress, with work, homeschooling, and then you have unstable blood sugars, you may be having high levels of cortisol. And the research shows that cortisol not only causes muscle and bone to break down, but it's also responsible for that nice tire around our midsection. So this is part of the reason why balancing blood sugars is really good for weight loss. And so, of course, your blood sugars drop, you have cravings, you're going to be going for some more sweet stuff. So again, extra calories, extra sugar. You're going to have fatigue and you're going to have brain fog. So it's just a recipe for disaster. But if you look at trying to stabilize your blood sugars, starting off your day with protein, complex carbs, and some good fats. So that can be, say, your plain Greek yogurt and some berries. Maybe you do an omelette with some vegetables. Switch out your coffee for a green tea or a herbal tea, or even do a protein shake. It's not going to spike those blood sugars, and it's going to keep it in that nice, green, healthy level. So you're going to have decreased fat storage. You're going to have that stabilized mood and energy throughout the day. Because you're not having those drops, you're going to have reduced cortisol, reduced cravings, and you're going to think clearly. So we all hear about, oh, you got to drink lots of water, but I think it's so important when you tell people to drink lots of water. Why? What does the research say? Why do I need to drink lots of water? So Health Canada recommends that as women, we should be drinking 2.7 litres of water per day, and for men, 3.7 litres per day. Now, if you're an athlete, or if you're out in the sun, or if you're someone that is carrying extra weight, overweight, obese, you're going to need more water. So what's the great thing about water is it actually helps to metabolize fats. So very good for fat metabolism. But because when you drink water, and if you drink a lot, it actually stretches your stomach muscles. And those muscles have nerves that travel up into the brain to tell you, okay, my stomach's stretched, I'm full. So it's actually a natural appetite suppressant. Now, a lot of people get confused when they think they're hungry when they're actually thirsty. So the next time you feel hungry, instead of grabbing some food, try drinking some water first, and that might actually help to depress those hunger pains or hunger signs. And the other big thing is most people get their extra calories and their sugar from their beverages. So their juices, their pops, their energy drinks, obviously their alcohol. So switching out those sugar-laden beverages for water would be a double whammy in terms of losing weight, because you're getting rid of all those excess calories and sugar. So what's interesting is a 5% drop in hydration levels can cause 25 to 30% loss of energy. And that's both physical and cognitive energy. So again, if you have low energy, you might start craving for some sugar or something sweet to give you that energy burst. So again, keeping hydrated, again, might be a way to help manage your eating patterns as well. Mild dehydration can actually cause your metabolism to slow down by 3%. And some research from WedMed stated that drinking water before meals actually results in an average reduction in intake of 75 calories per meal. So drinking water before just one meal per day would cause you to ingest 27,000 fewer calories per day. So that's pretty great. My only concern is you don't want to be drinking a whole bunch of water during your meal or even just before. So maybe drinking more water throughout the day is better, because drinking too much during your meal or just before is going to dilute your stomach acid and your digestive enzymes, which might compromise your overall ability to break down, digest, and absorb your nutrients. So especially if you have some digestive issues, I would not be consuming a whole bunch of water during a meal. So a great strategy is keeping water bottles beside you. I have 2 water bottles here that I've been sipping on. And just have it beside your computer, have it beside the TV or while you're cooking, so you can just keep drinking it, and get the levels that you need. So another great strategy is looking at thermogenic foods or negative calorie foods. And these can actually help burn fat and lose weight. And they do this by boosting the rate at which your body burns calories. And this can have a temporarily benefit, but also can have a benefit in the long run. And it can actually help you to feel full after you eat them. So overall, reducing your calorie intake. So negative calorie foods are foods that have calories in them, but when you eat them, you actually run a calorie deficit, which is great. So for example, celery has 53 calories, but because the fibers in celery are so thick and dense, your digestion needs so much energy, so much calories to actually break it down that you actually burn 72 calories consuming the 53 calorie celery. So other examples of negative calorie foods include almonds, apples, berries, citrus fruits, all your cruciferous vegetables, your Brussels sprouts, your broccoli, your asparagus, your cabbage, your cauliflower. Cucumber's great, it's got tons of water in it, so again, great for hydration. Your dark green leafy vegetables, eat tons of that. Mushrooms and your nightshades, such as your tomatoes and your peppers. So drinking green tea, I would have to say that green tea is one of probably my top 5 superfoods. There is so much research on green tea in relation to cancer, antioxidants, etc. So a study published in the Journal of Obesity Research showed that habitual tea drinkers had an average of 19.6% less body fat and slimmer waist than people who didn't drink tea regularly. And what they also found is most of these tea drinkers chose green tea. So the great thing about green tea, it has flavonoids in it called EGCG, that's the abbreviated version. And what this shows is not only does it help to burn fat, but it also reduces diet-induced obesity and can also keep the weight off afterwards. So one of the health benefits and one of the weight loss benefits of the EGCG is that it actually inhibits an enzyme that breaks down the hormone norepinephrine. And we talked about that in the intermittent fasting. When this enzyme is inhibited, the amount of this hormone increases and can actually promote fat breakdown. So several studies suggest that taking green tea extract or this EGCG supplement can make you burn 3 to 4% more calories at rest, although some studies have shown that can increase as high as 8%. So I love green tea because it's a great switch out from coffee in the morning. It's got a little bit of caffeine to give you that kick, but not as much as coffee. And it has L-theanine in it, which is a calming amino acid, so it's not going to be as jittery as the coffee, but it's a great way to increase your water intake, flush out toxins, etc. So another great food is apple cider vinegar. And again, there's actually a ton of research on this in regards to fat metabolism and losing weight. So apple cider vinegar can promote fullness, which can actually decrease caloric intake. And the research has shown that it had a 55% lower blood sugar response 1 hour after eating. So again, really good for blood sugar balance, because if you have unstable blood sugars, you have 3 times more difficulty losing weight. And what the research showed that people also ended up consuming 200 to 275 fewer calories for the rest of the day. So one particular study, a 12-week study, looked at 144 obese Japanese adults, and they looked at consuming 2 tablespoons or 30 mils of the apple cider vinegar, and the other group, the placebo group, drank a placebo drink. So they basically were told to restrict their alcohol intake, but otherwise just continue with their usual diet and their usual activity. So 12 weeks in the study, those that consumed 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar a day had a weight loss of 3.7 pounds. So this was no change with regards to the diet or exercise. They had a decrease in body fat percentage of 0.9%. They had a decrease in waist circumference of 3/4 of an inch or 1.9 centimeters. And they actually had a decrease in triglycerides of up to 26%, which is huge. So the placebo group actually showed to have an increase of 0.9 pounds or 0.4 kgs, and actually their waist circumference slightly increased. So just incorporating apple cider vinegar into your day is great. I can't tolerate doing a tablespoon of vinegar. It's very acidic. So I would suggest mixing it with water to drink it. Definitely really good to do before a meal because it stimulates your stomach acid, it stimulates your digestive enzymes, so it's great for digestion. And I like mixing it with, say, olive oil, avocado oil, and making it as a salad dressing and putting it on my salads for lunch and dinner. So another easy, quick switch out is switching ketchup for salsa. So the jalapenos found in fresh salsa get their spice from a powerful nutrient called capsaicin. And there's a lot of research on capsaicin, and it actually shows it can increase your body's burning ability, which can promote weight loss. So, in fact, research from Oxford University showed that salsa can stimulate the metabolism by 20 to 25%, which is huge, right? So instead of doing like ketchup with your omelet, do some salsa, or putting it on your burgers, put the salsa instead of the ketchup. So just to show you the difference too, 2 tablespoons of salsa is less than 10 calories and only has 2 teaspoons of sugar. Whereas 2 tablespoons of ketchup have over 40 calories and 7.5 teaspoons of sugar. So another strategy I did with one client who had 2 kids that were very addicted to sugar, we started switching out, putting tomato paste inside the ketchup bottle. And what the kids found is when they go to like a restaurant, they go, "Oh, Mum, your ketchup is so much better. This is too sweet. We like your one better." But it is amazing when you look at your ketchup bottle at home, you look at the ingredients on the back, because the ingredients are listed from the highest amount of ingredient is listed first in the product, and then it goes down. And what I found with some ketchup products, usually the first ingredient is water, then it's sugar, and then it's tomatoes. So some of these ketchup bottles actually have more sugar than they have tomatoes. So definitely try and switch that out, or try and start putting tomato paste in your ketchup to just get those sugars down. And my last strategy is sipping on virgin Bloody Marys. So I know a lot of us tend to be drinking a lot more alcohol lately because we're on lockdown. So maybe a great drink that you can start incorporating now that it's getting patio weather is virgin Bloody Marys. They have tons of health benefits, and particularly with weight loss. So what virgin Bloody Marys have them is citric, malic, and oxalic acid. And these have all been shown to accelerate your metabolism and actually can help filter out fatty deposits from the body. It also contains lycopene, which can help increase your metabolism by up to a third. So you've got your celery stick in there, which is great, minimal calories. It's a negative calorie food. But celery has also been shown it can help to flush out fat out of our system. It can actually help regulate our fluid balance. So if you're feeling a bit puffy or swollen, celery is great to sort of help with that as well. Pinch of cayenne pepper actually can stimulate metabolism by up to 20% and can actually help to clean fat out from your arteries as well. So if you have some cardiovascular problems, this might be a great drink as well. The black peppercorns in virgin Bloody Marys can promote digestion and relieves intestinal gas and bloating. So again, helping with that weight shift, and really good for liver function, which is liver is your key fat burning organ. So you really want to support the liver. And it also can help stimulate breakdown of fat cells. So virgin Bloody Marys also have horseradish, and this also is very good for the liver, helping to flush out toxins in the body, can aid in weight loss, and helps with digestion. So if you want to get for the recipe for this, just go onto the Koru Nutrition website, and there's a recipe there on how to make the virgin Bloody Mary. And also we talk about the alcohol version too. So just in summary, weight loss strategies that you can work on now is the intermittent fasting, avoiding that late night snacking, getting those clean whole foods, cutting out the processed junk foods, again, avoiding those refined grains, those white bread, white pasta, white rice, and looking at really balancing those blood sugars with having fats, complex carbs, and protein at each meal, drinking lots of water, consuming those thermogenic foods like celery, apples, almonds, and cruciferous vegetables, drinking that green tea, incorporating that apple cider vinegar in your salad dressings, or having it with a glass of water, especially before meals, switching out the ketchup for the salsa, and drinking the virgin Bloody Marys.